Hello guys, welcome back to our anime moment. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Renegade Immortal episode number 638 based on novel. So let's start. As Wang Lin walked through the palace while surrounded by thousands, a sigh from his teacher, Xian Luo, echoed. Just a few breaths before this, in a mountain far away from the ancient Dao imperial city, something else was happening. The inside of the mountain was completely hollow, but from the outside, not even Grand Empyreans would notice it. Inside was a great formation, one so extremely complex that it would make one's vision blurry from just looking at it. The formation released white light and flashed non-stop. It gave off a strange feeling, and at the center sat a blurry figure covered in seven-colored light. The figure was forming seals and placing them on the formation. Just as the seven-colored seals landed, an illusion appeared inside the formation. This illusion was a miniature version of the ancient Dao Imperial Palace. There were black and white dots scattered across the miniature palace. There were tens of thousands of black dots, but compared to the white dots, they were still inferior. The white dots occupied almost the entire palace and were still increasing in number. There were 1,000 white dots, and they surrounded the only red dot. This red dot was soaked in a bloody aura and remained motionless. Black represents dead souls and white stands for vitality. This red dot is Wang Lin. Wang Lin, we meet again. The blurry seven-colored figure smiled and a hoarse voice echoed. This old man pulled her soul fragment back then and gave it to the ancient Dao Emperor. He indeed did as I planned and found someone to fuse with the soul to title as his empress. And you came to the ancient Dao Palace, as I expected. Kill, the more you kill, the greater the benefit for this old man. The blurry seven-colored light smiled, but when he said, soul fragment, his voice became faint but soon recovered. He raised his right hand and white light shined. As his left hand rose, black light shrouded his hand. This caused the colors surrounding him to become 9 colors. At the same time, a ray of gray gas appeared out of nowhere and fused with the 9 colors, making it 10 colors. The gray body formed in the cave world is now complete, the blurry figure murmured, his voice hoarse. The gray gas was that ray of ghostly light from when Wang Lin left the cave world. Not even Grand Empyrean Xian Luo had detected it. Unfortunately, I suffer limitations and can only absorb the death aura from Wang Lin's slaughter. Otherwise, if this old man acted personally, I could gather the amount of death aura I need in a short period of time, so I can. The figure paused twice while speaking. It was as if he was limited by something and was even afraid of the goal he was trying to achieve with the death aura, so he didn't want to say it clearly. This Wang Lin's slaughter in the cave world satisfied me, but once he came to the immortal astral continent, he killed very little. If not for that, this old man could have finished gathering and would not have needed to use the ancient Dao backup. Fortunately, I was prepared and removed her soul fragment early on. The blurry figure paused again on her, and his voice trembled before becoming silent. After a long time, there was a flash of coldness in the blurry figure's eyes. Since I have chosen to do this, I no longer have a need to be afraid. At most, my consciousness will be erased, but once I succeed, the blurry figure trembled in excitement. This old man has prepared for so many years, I can't fail. Let's first extract the dead soul from the palace. The blurry figure raised his right hand and pointed at the miniature of the palace inside the formation before him. With this, the black dots all trembled and became faint, as if they were about to be absorbed by the formation. At this instant, a force seemed to shroud those black dots and bounced back. They were no longer faint and seemed to reject being absorbed by the formation. The expression of figure surrounded by the 10 colors changed, and he exclaimed, they. At this moment, in the ancient Dao Imperial City, when the sigh came from the sky, Wang Lin suddenly stopped. He seemed to forget about the danger, the 36 fiends charging at him, and the ancient Dao Emperor tens of thousands of feet away. The red in Wang Lin's eyes gradually dissipated and the madness and ferociousness on his face slowly disappeared, replaced by bitterness as the figure walked over. He knew that his teacher would definitely come and would definitely stop him. That's why he hadn't explained at all and had tried to kill the ancient Dao Emperor and take Li Muwen away as fast as possible. Wang Lin had long seen the ancient Tao Emperor's thoughts and behavior from the jade he had been given at the Great Soul Sect. He had even heard what the ancient Tao Emperor had muttered beside the bed. On top of all these things, the ancient Tao Emperor had made Songshi drink with Wang Lin. How could the ancient Tao Emperor not have realized it after seeing Wang Lin's expression? He was just immersed in the pleasure of controlling a pair of lovers. Therefore, once Wang Lin understood everything, he issued a howl saying he was going to kill Yi Mo, kill this ancient Tao Emperor. He had considered hiding his anger and calmly entering the palace again to take Songshi away. However, his bottom line was touched. If he could endure it, it wouldn't be his bottom line. Although attacking an unprepared emperor seemed to be the right action, it would be an even worse situation than now. It would have been an assassination. With his strength, charging into the palace in a fit of rage can be considered him losing his mind due to anger. But if he were to assassinate, then that meant that he was very calm. If he did such a thing while thinking calmly, then the damage to Xian Luo's reputation would be impossible to repair. Wang Lin understood all of this, so he wouldn't choose to do that. Wang Lin wouldn't choose such methods. He was going to take away Wan's soul, kill the ancient Tao Emperor, and do it all in broad daylight. The only thing he had to consider was his teacher's feelings. Teacher, Wang Lin clasped his hands and bowed at the person walking toward him. He didn't get up and continued to bow even though the 36 fiends had used this chance to close in on him. In the sky, Xian Luo walked out and looked at Wang Lin. He seemed to have aged a lot and he waved at the ground below. With this wave, the 36 fiends all coughed out blood and retreated in fear. Everyone beside Wang Lin was knocked away 10,000 feet, leaving only Wang Lin, who continued to bow. The ancient Tao Emperor sneered when he saw Xian Luo appear. His eyes lit up and he quickly stepped forward. Lord Xian, Wang Lin broke into the palace and tried to steal my empress. He has betrayed us as Lord Xian's disciple. I hope Lord Xian. Before he finished speaking, Xian Luo suddenly turned toward him. Scram for me. The ancient Tao Emperor trembled and coughed out blood as he retreated several steps. He looked at the blood he had coughed out in disbelief. He didn't expect Xian Luo to dare to injure him. He was about to speak again, but when he saw the killing intent and anger in Xian Luo's eyes, he swallowed his words. His expression was gloomy, but he didn't dare to speak again. Grand Empyrean Xian Luo, the father of the ancient Tao Emperor, the old man who had lost his right arm, sighed and bowed at Xian Luo. This child doesn't respect the imperial power, but I believe the respected guardian of the ancient Tao will deal with his matter fairly. After all, this person killed tens of thousands of powerful people of my ancient Tao. He has endangered the ancient Tao, and this is unforgivable. The old man was much smarter than the current emperor. His words put the focus on the fact that Wang Lin had killed many people. Xian Luo silently pondered, then he looked at Wang Lin. His eyes were filled with regret and sorrow. There was also confusion, and his face seemed even older. He looked at his disciple, who was still kneeling there. His lips trembled, but he was unable to speak. After a very long time, Xian Luo took a deep breath and said, "Why?" Wang Lin let out a sigh. He looked up at Xian Luo with a complicated expression. He couldn't repay Xian Luo for the kindness he shown. He didn't want to disappoint Xian Luo from the bottom of his heart. Teacher? Don't be angry. Wang Lin raised his right hand and hit his chest. He coughed out a large full of blood and waved his hand. The blood scattered and fused with the blood on the ground, revealing a monstrous blood light. With Wang Lin's blood as a guide, bodies began to form out of thin air. These bodies were all the people killed by Wang Lin. Back then, with Yi Mo's cultivation, he could use a few mouthfuls of blood create the ancient gods, ancient demons, and ancient devils of the cave world. Now Wang Lin had the soul blood. With the inheritance he had obtained after fusing with the soul blood, he could do this as well, and he was countless times more powerful than Yi Mo. These bodies appeared one by one. Tens of thousands of people, and not one person was missing. Their bodies formed and all the blood on the ground disappeared. Wang Lin's face was pale as he opened his arms. The tens of thousands of souls flew out and fused with their respective bodies. Wang Lin had killed tens of thousands of people, but he had only destroyed their bodies and taken their souls away. However, he was too powerful, so no one here had seen through him. Xian Luo was his teacher. How could he do something that would make Xian Luo sad? When the tens of thousands of people appeared, the eyes of the nearly 1,000 people outside the palace widened in disbelief. Even the ancient Tao Emperor's expression changed and became even more gloomy. His father, the old man, gasped. He hadn't noticed anything before, and now he looked at Wang Lin with even deeper fear in his eyes. As those souls returned to their bodies, the tens of thousands of people opened their eyes. After a moment of confusion, they awakened completely. Bursts of cries echoed. They felt like they should have died, but now it was all like a dream as they were revived. However, they were not as strong as before death and had weakened a lot. Although this spell was mysterious, it was unable to make so many people recover their original power. However, due to the soul blood in Wang Lin's body, although their power had been weakened, they would only need a few decades to recover completely. Only someone with the soul blood could use such a spell that was close to the power of the ancient ancestor. After the cries, they all became silent and looked at Wang Lin with complicated expressions. Among them were the 9 people under Xian Luo. They let out sighs and felt like they had just escaped a great calamity. Their souls had been taken by Wang Lin, so they understood that the reason they were revived was because of Wang Lin. Wang Lin's face was extremely pale. Although he had the soul blood, using a spell like this would still harm him greatly. In order to not disappoint Xian Luo, he had made this decision when he decided to break into the palace. Whether he succeeded or failed, he was going to take the souls of everyone he had killed and then revive them once Xian Luo arrived. Facing this unimaginable scene, Xian Luo was moved. With his cultivation level, he could see that Wang Lin could do all of this due to the drop of soul blood. With 3 drops of soul blood, one can create a new clan. This had been passed down throughout the generations. Now that Xian Luo saw this, he believed it. Wang Lin raised his head. His pale face made him look sickly. He looked at Xian Luo and softly said, "Teacher." Disciple didn't really kill a single ancient Tao member. Even though he didn't kill anyone, he has weakened many powerful members of the ancient Tao and broke into the palace, disrespecting the imperial power. If word of this spreads out to the ancient Shi and ancient Ji, the ancient Tao will lose all face. He still needs to die, the ancient Tao Emperor suddenly said. His eyes were filled with killing intent as he looked at Wang Lin. Wang Lin, tell teacher the reason. Xian Luo looked at Wang Lin and his expression gradually softened. He thought Wang Lin didn't care about his feelings and had gone on a wanton killing spree that would result in irreparable damage and regret. Not only would this have made his heart ache, it would have also made him feel disappointment. For his only disciple, he had done everything he needed to do as a teacher. He had even taken Wang Lin as his own son. He had prepared everything Wang Lin needed for cultivation and was even willing to go against Grand Empyrean Jiu Dao for Wang Lin. Just moments ago, he was refining a treasure for Wang Lin. But when he arrived, he saw the ground covered in blood. The ancient Tao he protected had countless deaths, and all of it had been done by his disciple. This made Xian Luo feel like his heart was stabbed with a knife and filled him with disappointment. But now, when he saw Wang Lin use the soul blood to revive the people that had died, despite hurting himself, Xian Luo's heart ached for Wang Lin. His heart ached for this disciple, and he knew that this disciple still cared about him. Because he knew that if Wang Lin hadn't planned this in advance, there would have been no way to revive people out of nowhere. Before he came, he had already accounted for my feelings. Xian Luo's gaze softened. He understood his disciple. If not for an important reason, his disciple would not have done this, much less go crazy like this. The reason was most likely Wang Lin's bottom line. Xian Luo let out a sigh and he vaguely guessed part of it. Wang Lin's face was pale as he said, "My wife's soul is inside Songji's body. Disciple is going to take her away. The ancient Tao Emperor knows this and won't allow it. Disciple also needs to kill him." The expression of the ancient Tao Emperor changed and he immediately roared, "Absurd! You want to steal my empress? How can I let you take her away? You said your wife's soul is inside her body, simple ridiculous." You didn't explain at all when you arrived. Why should I give my empress to you? The ancient Tao Emperor sneered, but his heart trembled. So now that I've explained, I'm going to take her away. Wang Lin turned his head and coldly looked at the ancient Tao Emperor, who was being guarded by nearly 1,000 people. The ancient Tao Emperor immediately said, "Ridiculous. Your explanation is without reason. If I really let you take her away, won't the entire world laugh at my incompetence? Besides, your reason is without logic. I can say that this woman was my wife in my last life. What can you do?" His voice was sharp and showed no signs of backing down. He was convinced that Wang Lin could never hurt him, nor would dare to kill him. He also saw the respect Wang Lin had toward Xian Luo. With Xian Luo here, Wang Lin would be even less likely to attack. If he didn't take advantage of this, he wouldn't be royalty. Besides, he was the ancient Tao Emperor. Anyone who dared to kill him would have to ask Grand Empyrean Gu Dao first. As the ancient Tao Emperor, he had nothing to fear. How could he let Wang Lin do as he wished? He had thought about it. Once today's matter was over, he was going to spoil Song Shi and take her virgin body, let her bear his child and let Wang Lin fall into despair. The ancient Tao Emperor waved his sleeve and coldly said, "If you want to take away my empress, then give me some evidence." Wang Lin silently pondered. The killing intent in his body was almost unable to be suppressed and was about to erupt. He was going to kill the 1,000 people blocking his path and slaughter his way to the palace to kill the ancient Tao Emperor. But he could not do this. There was a hint of red on his pale face as he suppressed the crazed killing intent in his body. He looked at Song Shi and revealed sadness. He had power comparable to that of a Grand Empyrean, and besides Xian Luo, no one here was his match. However, right now, before a tiny emperor, he could not take a step forward. He could see Wan as soul right there but could not take her away. All of this was because he didn't want to disappoint Xian Luo and put him in a dilemma. He didn't want to make the teacher he owed so much to feel sorrow. Wang Lin closed his eyes and revealed a miserable smile. When he opened his eyes once more, his right hand reached at the void and a jade appeared. After his divine sense gathered on the jade, he crushed it. The moment he crushed the jade, everything he had seen using the jade from the Great Soul Sect, along with the ancient Tao Emperor's mutter, was displayed before everyone without anything hidden. The image was incredibly clear. The Imperial teacher said that this soul fragment can make me the true ancient emperor of the entire ancient clan. Then, making this woman my empress will be the best reward for her. Although this woman is not an absolute beauty, she has her own charm. I don't know where the Imperial teacher got this soul fragment from. She may have her own lover, and perhaps he felt extreme pain after her death. Unfortunately, he will never know that this woman is in my hands. If I could see who this woman's lover was and I could see him for myself, it would be very interesting. If one day they meet, I wonder if they will recognize each other. This matter is not urgent. After the ceremony, I'll have to get a good taste of the soul fragment after it is fused. The ancient Tao Emperor's voice came out of the images from the shattered jade. Although this was the second time Wang Lin had heard this, the killing intent in his heart surged once more. However, he suppressed it once more. This voice was heard by everyone here. Although the ancient Tao Emperor remained calm, a huge wave was set off in his heart. He never expected such a strange spell to exist in this world. The ancient Tao Emperor sneered and said in a gloomy tone, "Such a realistic illusion, interesting. Wang Lin, you spent some effort to create this, but it's all false. I have never said such a thing. What soul fragment?" Wang Lin remained silent, but his killing intent surged like crazy. It was about to erupt for the third time, and his eyes became red once more. However, he suppressed it once more, and due to suppressing his anger multiple times, blood flowed out from the corner of his mouth. As the ancient Tao Emperor sneered, Xian Luo frowned. He raised his right hand and reached towards Song Shi. However, there was a flash of purple light around Song Shi that dissipated Xian Luo's grab. This caused Xian Luo's expression to change. When the old man saw this, he exclaimed, "Purple print ancestral soul lock." The ancient Tao Emperor smiled slightly and coldly looked at Xian Luo. Then he looked at Wang Lin and his laughter became even more unbridled. She is my empress, no one can take her away. I have already planted this lock on her body. This is a relic from the ancient ancestor. If I die, she dies, and with one thought, she can't move more than 100 feet from me. Without breaking the lock, who can take her away from me? I control whether she lives or dies. Wang Lin, do you dare to kill me? If I die, she will also die. Wang Lin, why I'm not kneeling? The ancient Tao Emperor laughed as he looked at Wang Lin. The purple print ancestral soul lock. This spell was passed down by Grand Empyrean Gu Dao to the 3 imperial families, and only the current emperor can use it. They can only use it once in their life, and anyone below Grand Empyrean will no longer have control over their own life. Only Grand Empyrean Gu Dao can remove this spell, Xian Luo said with an extremely gloomy expression. Wang Lin was silent. Xian Luo looked at the ancient Dao Emperor and calmly said, Yi Dao, as the guardian of the ancient Dao, I request that you immediately remove the restriction here and let Wang Lin take this woman away. I'll go ask Grand Empyrean Gu Dao to remove the spell from this woman. Imperial son, it's not worth it for a woman. The old man also frowned and looked at the ancient Dao Emperor. Since this woman has the soul of Wang Lin's wife, why do you want her around? Just give it back to him. Such a powerful person has decided to stay in my ancient Dao. If you do this, it will make his heart cold. Heart cold? So what if his heart becomes cold? You're old, don't say pointless things. And Lord Xian. This is a private affair of the imperial family. You are the guardian of the ancient Dao. Did you forget the agreement with Grand Empyrean Gu Dao? This person has broken into the palace and disrespected the imperial power. I now hope that Lord Xian will kill this person and fulfill your duty, the ancient Dao Emperor said coldly, completely ignoring Xian Luo's request. He was behaving like this because he believed no one would dare to kill much, especially Wang Lin. Xian Luo smiled angrily and there was a flash of coldness in his eyes. This ancient Dao Emperor was someone he had appointed, and now he dared to say such words. Just as he was about to speak, Wang Lin spoke. If I kneel, will you let me take her away? Didn't you want to kill me before? Were you not arrogant before? Weren't you unwilling to kneel before? Now what you want to kneel? You are a mere ant from a cave world, and I'm the proud son of the heavens. Come and kneel before me, beg, and if I'm happy, I might even gift this woman to you. The ancient Dao Emperor smiled, but his smile was very dark. I, Wang Lin, can continue to guard the ancient Dao until the end of my life. I can kneel, I cannot kill you. I just want the soul fragment in the woman's body. Give her back to me, okay, Wang Lin murmured. His eyes were filled with endless sadness. This was the accumulation of thousands of years of sadness. Give her to you? Then it would depend on my mood. Perhaps after playing with this woman for a few thousand years, and you're obedient during that time, then I might give her to you. The ancient Dao Emperor laughed. Wang Lin's body trembled and closed his eyes. The killing intent in his body erupted once more and he almost lost control. As for the so-called restriction he could feel from the soul blood in his body, if he had time, he could break the restriction. The reason he was still suppressing this killing intent was for Xian Luo. Because Xian Luo wouldn't allow the ancient Dao Emperor to be killed. Xian Luo was the guardian of the ancient Dao, and the imperial power was supreme here. I can offer other things to trade for the soul fragment of my wife. Wang Lin opened his eyes and suppressed the killing intent once more. However, his eyes were bloodshot and he had spoken in a hoarse voice. Oh? Tell me, what are you going to trade? The ancient Dao Emperor smiled. Wang Lin looked at Songshi, then his right hand reached at the void and a soul appeared. This soul's eyes were closed, but it gave off a golden light. The light was impure and the soul looked like it was in pain. Is the Celestial Clan's Celestial Emperor's soul enough? Wang Lin's gaze looked at the ancient Dao Emperor. The ancient Dao Emperor's expression changed as he stared at the soul. His eyes were filled with disbelief. Celestial Emperor. This is impossible. You actually have his soul. The ancient Tao Emperor gasped. Not only him, but when Wang Lin took out the soul, the expressions of all the ancient Tao members changed. The members of the two other clans in the distance were also the same. Many of them had seen the Celestial Emperor, so they immediately knew that this soul was real when they saw it. The eyes of the father of the ancient Tao Emperor widened and his body trembled. Even Xian Luo was shocked when he saw this soul. Not enough. How can a mere Celestial Emperor's soul be enough? The ancient Tao Emperor's heart beat rapidly and he looked at Wang Lin with deep fear in his eyes for the first time. He couldn't imagine how Wang Lin had managed to get the Celestial Emperor's soul. It has to be said that the Celestial Emperor was one of the 9 Grand Empyreans. Wang Lin silently pondered. He waved his left hand at the sky and the black and white Grand Empyrean sun appeared behind him. Something slowly appeared from within the sun. It was a head. It was a giant head that had no eyes or ears. The moment the head appeared, an extremely dense celestial energy and golden light that looked like the sun spread out. If I add this head, is it enough? Wang Lin's eyes became even more bloodshot and his voice was even more hoarse. The ancient Tao Emperor was startled as he looked at the head. He felt that the head looked familiar, but he could not remember. This is the head of the Celestial Ancestor. This really is the head of the Celestial Ancestor. The ancient Tao Emperor's father's body trembled violently and he flew out of the palace. He stared at the head in the air and revealed excitement he had never shown before. What? Celestial Ancestor's head? After the ancient Tao Emperor recovered, his expression changed greatly. Xian Luo gasped as he looked at the head, and his mind went completely blank. If they were like this, there was no need to talk about the rest of the people here. Once they heard the cry of the ancient Tao Emperor's father, they all looked at the head. The shock they felt was even more intense than when they saw the soul of the Celestial Emperor. Celestial? Celestial Ancestor's head. The Celestial Ancestor is dead. Then what about the ancient ancestor? Is the ancient ancestor still alive? This Wang Lin has the head of the Celestial Ancestor. This matter set off a wave in the entire palace and would soon set off a wave across the entire ancient clan. The members of the other 2 clans stared at the head in disbelief. Wang Lin looked at the startled ancient Tao Emperor and said with a hoarse voice, "I'll trade these 2 things for the soul of my wife. Is that enough? Enough. Enough." The person who answered Wang Lin was the ancient Tao Emperor's father. He excitedly turned around to look at his son. "Yi Dao, with these 2 items, my ancient Tao will rise. With the Celestial Emperor's soul and the Celestial Ancestor's head, my ancient Tao will have a chance to unify the entire ancient clan. Let the woman go." The old man's voice was trembling from excitement. The ancient Tao Emperor hesitated. "Quickly, release the restriction." "What are you waiting for?" the old man anxiously roared. "Not enough. With a great enemy like him, I can't rest easy. If we kill this person, both items will belong to my ancient Tao." A flash of killing intent appeared in the ancient Tao Emperor's eyes. The old man was about to roar, but he suddenly stopped speaking. He turned to look at Wang Lin and his eyes lit up. "You all have gone too far." In the sky, Xian Luo let out a roar that shook everyone present. Some even coughed out blood due to this roar, and their faces were now filled with fear. Even the ancient Tao Emperor's face turned pale, and he coughed out a mouthful of blood. He looked up at Xian Luo with a ferocious expression. "Xian Luo, you dare to hurt me? Are you not afraid of the anger of Grand Empyrean Ji Dao? Yi Dao, scatter the restriction. You can take the Celestial Ancestor's head and the Celestial Emperor's soul. This old man will act like nothing has happened. But if you don't, then this old man will fight against Grand Empyrean Ji Dao to kill you today." Xian Luo's heart ached. He looked at Wang Lin's almost pleading expression and pale face. His heart could not bear it. He understood that Wang Lin was only doing all of this for him. His disciple didn't want to make it difficult for him and didn't want to disappoint him, So Wang Lin continued to endure it all. With this kind of disciple, Xian Luo could be proud. If his disciple could do this, then although he had lived for countless years, he could also personally kill this emperor for his disciple. He would become the first Grand Empyrean to kill an ancient emperor. Xian Luo knew how serious the consequences were, but now, watching his disciple endure it all, he had decided to go all out. You would dare to kill me? Xian Luo, you are the Grand Empyrean of the ancient Dao. If you were to kill me, not only would you be killed by Grand Empyrean Gu Dao, but you would be going against the ancient Dao that you have protected for countless years. You would offend the entire ancient Dao. Do you dare to kill me? You would be the sinner of the ancient Dao. Even if you died, you would be hated by the entire ancient Dao. The ancient Dao emperor roared, his expression ferocious. Xian Luo's body trembled. He closed his eyes to hide the sadness and confusion in them. I have guarded the ancient Dao until today and have done nothing I regret. I only have this one disciple. I brought him here from the cave world. He had a supreme position in the celestial clan, but he still came to find me. I only have one disciple. Xian Luo opened his eyes and revealed a desperate determination. When Xian Luo made the decision, Wang Lin softly said, "Teacher." He looked at Xian Luo and revealed a smile. This was the first time he had smiled since he had found Wan as soul fragment. However, when Xian Luo saw this smile, his heart felt even more pain. What kind of smile was this? It was clearly a silent cry. Teacher, you have protected the ancient Dao your entire life. Disciple is not worthy of your decision. Wang Lin looked at Xian Luo and knelt down. He kowtowed once at Xian Luo. Throughout his life, he had said that he would not bow before the heavens or the earth. He would only respect his parents and kneel to Situ. Now there was one more person he would kneel to. Xian Luo's eyes were filled with sadness. This video will end here.